I'm standing on the corner of Palmer and Garfield Streets, where 149 years ago, a small group of German Lutherans decided to open a school for their children, followed by a church for their community. That action in 1872 was a commitment to worship, it was a commitment to community, and it was a commitment to education. Over the last 150 years, there have been times of great prosperity. There have also been times of extreme challenge. And throughout it all, St. Marcus has remained committed to being in and a part of these communities. When I think about the challenging times, I think about the 60s, 70s, and 80s. In the late 60s, this community was torn apart by racial strife. The congregation stayed. By 1981, despite these challenges, there were just 56 children enrolled in the school. But in the late 90s, thanks to visionary pastoral leadership and the advent of school vouchers, the school began to thrive. In response to a vision to build the best urban Christian school in America, in 2003, this building was built. And today, this is our main campus, serving 600 children in grades K4 through 8th grade. By 2009, the waiting lists were growing. Parents were knocking down their doors to get their children into this school. And in response to that, the board of directors made a commitment to open a second campus. That second campus, our North Campus, would open in 2014 and today serves just over 300 children. Any organization, the foundation of a great school is great people. And at all of our campuses, we are blessed with an extraordinary group of passionate, dedicated staff who deliver excellence to children and families. Here at our North Campus, our principal is April Richter. April has been with the organization for almost 20 years, serving as a support teacher, a teacher, director of kindergarten, and for the last 8 years as principal of the North Campus. April represents the faith, the resilience, the commitment, and the passion that make St. Marcus what it is today.
I love sharing the history of the North Campus. We started in 2014 with just 100 students, and all of our students were on the waiting list hoping to get in. And it's memorable to think back what the donors contributed in order to build this school building that we have now. We had 2 phases in our development. We started K3 through 3rd grade, and each year added the oldest grade level. And we are now at 350 students, and we'll have our first graduating class in 2022, and that's really special. I love our small family feel. We're different than the main campus in that we have one of each classroom. We're in the middle of several MPS schools in the area, and one difference is that we get to share Jesus with our students and families every day, and that's special.
St. Marcus is giving my boys a top-notch education, Christian base. Fantastic. What do you think?
What I would think is, so far as a student, my Christian base and my academic level has gone up a lot, improving. From 2nd grade to 8th grade, I've been here. And I would say that it's a really good school.
I feel like St. Marcus is a good Christian school because I learn about Jesus, like the parts of the Bible that I don't really know, and like they motivate me to do my best.
Our teachers work so hard to have the best professional development done. They invest in that so that our students receive the best education. We do know that there's a 4 to 6 month learning loss from having COVID happen and the year that impacted, but that was not a factor for our teachers. They still want our students to meet grade level outcomes by the end of this year, and to me that's just an extraordinary commitment. Aside from our awesome scholars and our dedicated teachers, the family plays a huge part in our school community as well. Not only do they show investment into their child's education here, but then it's our hope that they go into their own communities and share what they've learned and let their Jesus light shine.
Although discipleship of children and providing families with access to a high-quality school will always be our primary mission, in recent years, St. Marcus has been increasingly involved in what we call community engagement. Community engagement is really two things. On the one hand, it's coming alongside and supporting individual families who have a vision for their lives that they would like to achieve. This means assisting them with things like credit counseling or financial literacy, establishing savings, moving from substandard housing to perhaps a home in this neighborhood closer to the school. We're very engaged in coming alongside families and assisting them as they work towards the vision they have for their lives. The second aspect of community engagement is working more broadly with community organizations and with citizens who long to see Harambee become the kind of neighborhood that they envision. One that is safe, one that has access to decent housing, a place where families can come together and thrive, specifically with access to great schools. We share a long-term vision with this community, and we look forward to decades more to add on to the 139 years we've already been in this community. Here's a couple of examples of some stories as to what this looks like.
St. Marcus is offering financial empowerment opportunities to the St. Marcus community, and the reason that we're doing that is because that is what the community is asking for. Listening to the community, hearing their needs, and there is definitely a desire to reach big financial goals.
I am a product of the North Side, and living paycheck to paycheck is something that's very common in our communities, and I struggled to get away from it. I have my master's degree, and I still struggled to get away from the paycheck to paycheck living in my household. So it didn't matter how much money I made, nobody in my community was able to tell us how to use that money to free us, and that's what I noticed I was missing. I noticed that my daughter's school was offering lots of resources, and so I read a newsletter that they sent home one day, and it actually advertised for the credit builder class that they were offering. I took a gander at it, and I haven't looked back since.
Zena has came in through one of the financial literacy classes that I was offering. She attended one of the general sessions, and after that series of 3 classes, I offered one-on-one coaching for people who wanted a little bit more and wanted to do a deep dive into their personal financial situation, and Zena's a person that took advantage of that opportunity.
My interactions with Mo are very comfortable. She doesn't make you feel like you're working. She makes your saving come natural to you. So she develops a budget, and then from that budget, she basically helps you save and pay your bills ahead of time, and I'm paying off debt. So it's like a double dose of freedom. And that is needed in my community. I want to be that stepping stone. St. Marcus is like that judgment-free, shameless place that you can go to, and you don't just get education, you don't just get religion, you get multiple different things that you need to make you whole as a person. And that's what I want to give because I see them do it.
When I think about the work that we're doing here at St. Marcus, really it's a community coming together. We have community partners, we have a school here that's a great school, and then we have our great programs to serve the St. Marcus parents as well. So between the community partnerships, the students, and the parents, we're making a difference in the city.
My name is Maureen Gunn. At St. Marcus, I serve as the Community Engagement Specialist. And I'm just amazed at how God has just continued to open doors and show different ways on how we can serve His people in this community. So the work that we do is so important. However, we can't do it alone. And we just opened up our third campus in the Harambee community, and we know that Harambee is a Swahili word meaning all pulling together. And so that's why it's so important that we have other established nonprofit agencies that we work with. As you see here, I'm in the Harambee community, and I'm at the home of one of the homes that Habitat for Humanity has built. We've had the wonderful opportunity to partner with them, with our church members, with our teachers, and our parents. We feel that it's so important that families have sustainable housing that they can afford, that is safe, and that helps make our community stronger. In this important work that I'm doing, what I really hope in my heart to see is that families are moving together. Our community is helping. We're coming alongside and showing the love and support that the families need to know that they're not alone, and so that they can move from instability to stability to the position where they are thriving. We want to see God's goodness, we want them to have generational blessings, and we want them to have that foundation to build a legacy. Together, we are ready to do whatever it takes to connect our scholars, church members, and families in ways that bridge hearts, create opportunities, and build prosperity for generations.
As much as I am excited by our community engagement work and the impact it's having on school families, alumni, and the broader community, I am more excited about the building to my left, our third campus, the Harambee campus. We were blessed to be able to open this building just a few months ago with 150 children. And over the next few years, this campus will be built out to serve 600 kids. People often say to me, Henry, why does St. Marcus keep going? Why continue to open more campuses and serve more children? And to me, the answer to that question is obvious. Even before this pandemic, our city had a profound educational crisis. A crisis that disproportionately impacts low-income children and children of color. Did you know that here on the north side of the city of Milwaukee, there are 20 schools with less than a 2.5% reading proficiency rate? There are also 6 schools with a 0% reading proficiency rate. And that data comes from 2019, preceding the enormous and negative impact of the pandemic. The sad reality is that we read in the papers and we see on the television stories of homicides, of incredible rates of incarceration, of violence, and of reckless driving. All of those issues fundamentally stem from our failure as a community to educate our children. It's time for us as adults to stand up and say enough, to continue to open buildings like this, where children can receive an education that will equip them for lives of purpose, where they can become successful contributors to the social fabric of our city. That's what this campus will do. One of the evidences that I most enjoy of the success of our work together is the impact it has on our alumni in their 20s and their 30s. I'm in a privileged position, not just to work with children when they're 10, 11, 12, and 13, but to see who they become into adulthood. One of those stories is the story of Jemani Haynes. Jemani was a 7th grader when I arrived at St. Marcus back in 2002. She went on to graduate from high school and to college, and then to return to St. Marcus as a kindergarten teacher. Jemani has taught alongside us for the last 10 years, and then when our Harambee campus opened, Jemani was ready to lead. And so today I'm thrilled to tell you that Jemani is one of our founding administrators. She's the Dean of Students at the Harambee campus.
My education here at St. Marcus was very vital to my foundation of wanting to be in education, period. It was just a blessing that I'm able to be a dean in education here at St. Marcus. I am am super excited about what is happening at Harambee. My favorite part is actually morning greeting when we meet the kids in the morning and they come in dancing. We like to play music and get them ready for the day. That's my favorite part. I believe that being a servant at St. Marcus means that you have a passion in your heart, and I see that in our teachers every day. Being able to step outside of the classroom and see that all teachers are loving our students and showing them Jesus every day makes my heart super excited.
I love my teacher because she teaches me everything and she's so kind to me.
I think that the kids seeing the positivity and the passion in teachers helps them to want to come to school every day and want to learn about Jesus. It's the want that helps them to grow the passion as well.
Well, as Ellery was growing up, I was looking into the school, and once she turned 3, I toured the school and met with the principal, and she took me around, told me about the arts programs, and showed me the chapel and everything. And I pretty much knew that this was someplace I wanted her to be because it was really faith-based. So I was told there was a waiting list and to reapply for the new campus here at Harambee, and so I did it. And the day I got the letter, it was April 19th, and had some stuff going on, but that same day it came was like a miracle for me, so I was very excited to get it, so I knew it was God ordained that she came here.
I'm really happy to be at St. Marcus, so I'm so glad I'm here.
It is a faith-based school, something that's very important to me. Someone who is a strong believer of God and a high faith, that is something that I wanted for her. And again, to find that in one place, a place where they have great academics, great teaching, arts programs. I emphasize that I love arts and I want her to just grow up so she can blossom into being something very special. And knowing that she's here, I know she'll have a great foundation that'll lead her on the correct path.
To me, opening up the new Harambee campus means that there are a lot of opportunities for more students to have a chance at a quality education. And St. Marcus, I believe, provides that for the Harambee community.
The story doesn't end here for Elowin. Elowin is in K5 and has another 9 years here at St. Marcus. Following Elowin will be generations of other children and their parents looking for access to an exceptional school where children are loved, children are developed, and children are given the opportunity to have whole, successful lives. Thank you so much for supporting us this far. Thank you for partnering with us in all kinds of ways. Let's continue together to be ready to maintain the excellence that exists here at St. Marcus and to continue to grow opportunities for more children to have access to an exceptional education. I'm extremely grateful for your support. I'm grateful for your partnership and your generosity. Let's pause for a moment and take a deeper look at what St. Marcus is all about.